Talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No! I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the program. We appreciate it. Here we are together again on the radio. It's you. It's me. It's this big fat microphone. It's very exciting. Here is a story, and I want to talk to women about this because I think guys really care to know the answer to this. Dateline, our nation's capital, Los Angeles, California. The federal government, just see if you can guess who said this. The federal government should guarantee parents protection against testifying against their own children. Who said that? Have any idea who said that? You know who said that? Former White House intern and reality TV host Monica Lewinsky. In an opinion piece published in Sunday's Los Angeles Times, Lewinsky said it seemed appropriate on Mother's Day to urge Congress to establish a parent-child privilege. Here's what she wrote. We have a husband-wife privilege, a doctor-patient privilege, an attorney-client privilege, and even a privilege between priest and penitent. It's a big word for Monica. In fact, that's the first word she's used that begins in the letters P-E-N-I that didn't involve something she puts in her mouth. You know what I mean? She said, you know how she knows the word penitent? It came right after the other word. That's right. She was in the dictionary. You know, she was missing Bill, and she was looking up the word penis, and right after it, penitent. Next word in there. You can't deep throat a penitent, though. Well, unless you're a priest, maybe you can, but... Anyway, she wrote, isn't the parent-child relationship every bit as important, if not more so? Lewinsky, who now hosts Fox's reality dating show, Mr. Personality, recalled the devastation she felt when her own mother was subpoenaed to testify in the Ken Starr investigation during the late 90s. I was horrified and sickened, Lewinsky wrote. Not unlike many young women, I had confided in my mom to a certain extent and expected our conversations to remain between us. Now, I have told guys, never have sex with a woman and expect it to be a secret. Never. Now, I know many of you have said, I'm married, so don't tell anybody we're having sex. Or you've said, I don't want the guys to know I have a girlfriend, so don't say anything. Or, I know I'm not that well hung, so could you please not mention this to anyone? Chicks talk. They tell their best friends, they tell their sisters, and some of them tell their mothers. Everything. Or almost everything, like Monica Lewinsky. When you go over and you meet Mom, oh yeah, you think Mom knows you have a job or what you do for a living or how old you are or whether you have siblings, and that's what Mom talks to you about. But next time you see your girlfriend's mom or your wife's mom, look into her eyes. She knows what positions you're having sex. In many cases, she knows how often you have sex. She knows what things you asked your girlfriend or wife to do in bed that she thought were going too far. She knows how many women you've slept with. At least she knows the number you've told your girlfriend or wife. She knows a lot of things. Now, I do believe that women share things to varying degrees, and I think that has to do with how close a mother and daughter are in age to each other. I think if your mother is 60 and you're 21, you share a lot less than if your mother is 40 and you're 21, or if your mother is 35 and you're 18. I think your mother shares a lot more if she feels like you're a sister. And she hears a lot more about you. You share a lot more with her because she feels more like a peer. You know, if you have one of these situations where your mom had an in vitro birth at 45 and now she's 63 and you're 18, you're probably not sharing as much with her as if her boyfriend knocked her up at 15 and now you're 17 and she's 32. She shares a lot more with you. But this is what guys want to know. And again, I don't need guys to call in because the women know what we want to know. And here's what we want to know. How much, ladies, how much do you tell your mother? And when I say how much do you tell her, I mean specifics. I mean, how many things do you tell? Do you tell that you're having sex with your boyfriend? Do you tell specifics about it? Do you tell when he's been a jerk or maybe you caught him fooling around or when you've broken up with him, do you tell her everything? Do you tell her nothing? I want to find out how much women tell their moms. How much you can find. How far does that go? What things do you not tell? Are there things you don't tell? Tell me.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Boy, it's great to talk to you, man. You're like therapy for me.
Thank you.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Mimi on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Do you care, Mimi?
Yeah, a little. I do. I listen to you, right?
Well, that doesn't mean you care.
I do. A little.
I see. Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay. What can I do for you, Mimi?
Okay. I don't tell my mom anything. I think most Hispanics don't tell their mom. That's more white people, more Americanized people.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's always someone that you do tell, though.
Yeah, your friends who also don't tell their moms.
Yeah, but not your mom, not your mom.
So how much does your mom know about your life?
My mom only knows I go out on dates, and I get home
at 10 o'clock?
No, by about 1:30, 2 o'clock. That's all she knows. She doesn't know anything else. She probably still thinks I'm a virgin.
She does, even though she probably wasn't at this age.
I know. My mother got married at 22.
Right, and she wasn't a virgin then.
You know what? I don't know, and she wouldn't tell me.
Well, then you know the answer. If she was, she'd tell you.
No, she wouldn't. She wouldn't tell me. That's just because most Hispanics parents don't talk sexually about anything that has to do with sex to their kids.
And will you do the same? Will you do the same?
Because I was brought up, maybe. I have two sisters, and they're close in my age, and I would never tell them anything about me. And they won't tell me just because you have that respect. You don't feel,
I don't think it's respect. I think it's being a prude.
No, it's just you don't feel comfortable. How if you weren't brought up that way, how are you going to feel comfortable bringing up sex to your sister?
Well, put it this way. You know what?
Was he big?
50 years ago, nobody talked to their parents about this stuff. Not Caucasians, not Hispanics, not black. Nobody talked about that to their parents. Times have changed.
But see, I have many friends, and most of my friends, which are white, they're so open to their parents, and I think it's cool. That's awesome. But in most Hispanics, my cousins or other friends that I grew up with, they don't talk like this to their parents because you can. It's just out of respect. It's not that you don't want to. It's just how can you if you were never if the word sex was never brought up.
So your mother would never ask you if you're having sex with your boyfriend?
She would never do that.
So she doesn't want to know?
Probably, yeah. But come on, you should know. You go out with so many non-white people. You should know. Ask them. They will tell you they don't talk to their parents about sex.
Actually, I will tell you that while Latin women are less likely to talk to their moms, they're not all the same. And in fact, the more Americanized they are, the more second generation, third generation, the more likely they are to talk, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm first generation, so I don't tell my mom anything. My sisters don't tell them anything. That's just the way it works.
And how do you know your sisters have anything to tell?
Oh, come on. One of them is 25. She has a hot boyfriend. Whew. I think I'd do it if I had a chance.
See that? Yeah, you'd like to know all the details. Come on, let's call her up. We'll ask her right now.
No, come on. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't.
I'll ask. You can just listen on the radio. I'll call her.
No, if it wasn't hers, then maybe I would. But I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and where do they get the job done? At his place?
Yeah, we can't do it at my parents.
And do you all live at home? Is that the deal?
We all have to. I graduate this semester, and I still can't move out until I get married. And I don't want to. My parents, I couldn't do that to my
Mimi, you're 27 years old. And you're an American, for God's sake.
I'm first generation, but my parents aren't.
Where are your parents from, Mimi?
They're from Guadalajara.
Okay. And
they're from Mexico.
Were you born there or here?
I was born here. They were born out there. So I'm first generation out here. I'm 27.
So how do you get away with having sex if you are supposed to be at home? You live at home.
Oh, when I go out, no, actually until I was maybe 23, I wasn't allowed to go out on vacations. I go out, now I say I go out on vacations with girlfriends, but I was just allowed about, since when I turned 22.
So let me guess, all the girls go on vacation together and then they all bring their boyfriends.
No, I don't. I just tell my parents that. No, I go with whoever I'm seeing. I go out away with them, but I don't tell my parents that.
So what do you tell them you're doing?
I tell them I'm going to go to Puerto Vallarta, Cancun, Hawaii, and I'm going to go with my girlfriends.
So you lie to your parents?
Yeah.
And that's what they want you to do?
No, but I can't go and tell them the truth.
Well, wait a minute. You just said you don't talk to your parents about that stuff, and they don't want to know. Then,
right, so I have to lie.
Why are you in a position to have to lie? I mean, if they're not interested, why do they ask?
No, they don't. No, they're more strict, and they want to know where I'm at.
They would love to know if you're having sex and what's going on.
You know what? They probably will, but they don't want to hear it, and I don't want to tell them, and I'm not going to tell them.
Oh boy! So the only way you can have sex is to go on vacation?
No, I don't have to be home every day. I get home like at 9, 10 or whatever. I mean, they're not on my butt like they used to.
All right, but where are you having? So, like, you're 27 and you still live at home.
House.
At your house?
No, at my boyfriend's house.
Your boyfriend's house, but you have to be home by what time?
Well, I don't have a curfew anymore. It's not like that.
All right, so you can stay over at his house. You can have sex with him and get up the next morning.
No. I don't stay the night. Just out of respect, I come home every night. I get home at about 9, 10. So
you have to have sex at what? You have sex at 6:30, and then by 9 you're home.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Come on, Mimi, you're kidding me.
Oh, so what's your, but it's okay with me.
What's your boyfriend doing after 9 o'clock at night? I bet I know.
Well, he's a doc. I don't want to say. He's in a very busy profession, so
he's a doctor? Okay, well, there's a lot of doctors out there. Yeah, so he probably gets paid late at night.
Well, it depends. I mean, I'm a nurse, and I work with his schedule, so I know.
Mimi.
What?
I'm a guy. He's not living with his parents.
Who?
Your boyfriend.
No, he's not.
And so you think that when you go home at 9 o'clock, he just stays home?
I know his work schedule, and if I ever have to call him at the hospital, I call him.
Does he ever go out, quote unquote, with the guys?
No.
He doesn't. He doesn't have any friends.
You know what? He's my boyfriend, but I don't. If he does, that's fine. I'm not jealous. He can go.
So if he wants to have sex with other women, that's okay with you?
No, it's not. But I hope he's not.
But how would you know?
Because I usually, until now, I've always known we've been going out for about.
You don't know. You know what he tells you.
But if I have a doubt, I call our work, and he's there.
All right, but what if he? So he works at night. 7 nights a week.
No.
All right, so there are nights he's not working.
Okay.
And you go home at 9 or 9:30, and then what? He sits there by himself at his place.
Well, usually when I leave, he's already knocked out, so he's too tired to go anywhere.
Well, that's famous last words.
But it's okay. It's all right.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm just checking.
If you're going to do something now, well, it's all right.
What the hell?
Yeah.
It's okay, because you're not married to him.
Exactly. I'm not married to him.
Right, so it's okay if he does other people. He's a doctor, after all.
Yeah. But I wouldn't tell my mom I'm doing the doctor.
You wouldn't tell your mom you're doing it. You tell her you're dating a doctor. That you tell her.
Oh, she knows I'm dating a doctor.
She thinks that's great. Oh, yeah, you tell her that.
Yeah.
But, of course, if your mom knows anything about anything, and I'm sure your mom's not a dope, come on, he's a doctor. He can have any woman he wants.
But, see, the funny thing is, I wouldn't even tell my sisters about this. It's embarrassing.
That you're dating a doctor or that you're having sex with him?
And I'm having sex with the doctor.
Well, I mean, look, let's face it. The guy's a doctor. And a doctor can afford any woman he wants. Oh, I know. And so why would a doctor be in a relationship with a woman he couldn't have sex with? Oh, exactly. But see, they know I have sex. I know they know. But I'm saying I couldn't tell them. I couldn't. It's just the way we grew up. I don't talk to them about sex. So they know you're having sex, and you don't say anything about it. But they have to know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Who would think that a doctor would, just have this relationship with you without sex? Oh, it's platonic. Oh, I know. My platonic doctor. Yeah, they know, but I don't talk to them about it. Right. But I have 2 friends that I tell them everything. But like you said, there's always someone that you tell. But not my mom. Not my mom. Mimi, well, thank you very much for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Amy on the Tom Leykis Show. What do you tell your mom?
I tell her nothing.
Nothing about anything?
Well, I only tell her what she wants to hear. And I'm white, so I don't tell her anything. She thought I was a virgin for the longest time. She would come out and ask me, Amy, are you having sex? And I would say, no. Uh-huh. Did she ever figure out that you're having sex? She stopped asking when I turned around 21. The question stopped coming up.
So she assumed at 21 that was it. There's no point even asking.
Well, I had a serious boyfriend, and he was 5 years older than me, so, I mean... You have to be having sex, because a guy who's 5 years older would not be with you unless you were putting out. Well, that's what, and my boyfriend at the time would say. He would answer my mother's question honestly. He would say, I'm 26 years old. Of course I'm having sex with you.
Oh, Amy, listen to that. All right, Amy, thanks a lot for the call. I appreciate it.
The Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles to 1-800-5800-TOM. I'm asking the girls how much they tell their mothers so that we all know what we're in for, boys, when we have to hang around the parents. By the way, the women who tell the most, I think, are at risk for their mothers. If their mothers are young, or their mothers going for us. We've heard those stories on the air, and I think that's how that all gets started. Jennifer on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I say everything to my mother.
Everything.
Yes. Even though I am first generation here, and it's just, I have a lot of trust with my mom, so. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, except there's a few little details I don't go into, but.
What kind of, where do you draw the line?
If I swallow or, I mean, it just depends. Because I know she hasn't experienced everything.
Does she tell you about her sex life?
Yeah, she teaches me as to what the right things to do and whatnot.
So you know what your mom and dad have done in bed together?
No.
Well, you know what your mom and her ex-boyfriend did together?
No, my father. She's explained to me all the details, but nothing of what could be better and what could be worse. But
No, but she's told you what the two of them have done in bed.
right.
So you know what they've done in bed.
Well, not every detail, but
Well, and how far does your mom go?
to the point where I don't know. I mean, she doesn't say everything.
You know what positions they've been in?
No.
You don't.
No.
Do you know how often they have sex?
No.
Well, what does she tell you?
Well, she tells me, the position she's been in, but that didn't satisfy her. So there's other other positions where you could be in. And
so she has talked to you about positions she's been in. I just asked you that question. You said no.
Right. But I also do research myself, and my ex-boyfriends taught me, and I explained to them more.
So if a man is dating you, does he know that everything that happens between the two of you goes back to your mother?
Pretty much, yeah.
He does. What do you mean, pretty much?
Yeah.
You tell him, by the way, everything you have that I do with you, I'm going to tell my mom.
Not in detail, but I think pretty much everything that she knows that. I think it's more or less the trust and honesty that we have. That I allow myself to tell her. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't know everything about that with strippers and all the different things that I do. But
do you talk about size at all with your mom?
No.
Never.
No.
Not you, not her.
But I know it makes a difference.
It does make a difference. You know that from experience? You know that because your mom told you?
No, I'm still a virgin, and I'm 26.
Oh, well, no wonder you have nothing to tell her.
No, well, I just do anal and oral, and that's it.
Since when? Wait, you're 26 and you're a virgin?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm just really picky.
Oh, no. 26, now that's hang-ups. That goes beyond being picky, dear.
No.
Dear, there's 2 billion men in the world, and you can't tell me that at 26 you haven't found one.
Well, I prefer younger guys.
All right, there's a billion younger guys. Come on, you've got to be kidding me. You got hang-ups.
Well, no, not really. I've only had 3 relationships, and they lasted pretty long.
Yeah, why would any guy go out with you and not have sex?
Maybe because what I offer, and
what do you offer?
Body, looks, personality.
Yeah, well, if they find out they're not going to get sex, what good is your body?
Anal and oral is just enough.
No, you say it's just enough. And by the way, obviously, you have got hang-ups about sex. You do. I mean, why would it be so much worse if you're having anal sex? Why would it be so much worse to have, just regular straight intercourse?
I'd have to explain that. That's obviously, popping your hymen, so...
Pumping your hymen, and you're worried about that. Let me understand something. Do you go back to the old country? Is that where you're going to find a husband?
No.
They don't want you to be defiled. What are you
way.
popping your hymen? What century am I talking to? Are you calling the 21st century? Are you calling from planet Earth?
Well...
So let me understand something. So your rectum being like all out of shape, that's okay, but as long as your hymen is intact.
Right. I still want to be a virgin when I get married. So.
You want to be a virgin when you get... Well, your ass isn't a virgin, I'll tell you that.
I don't know. I just...
Oh, my God. I do not understand this way of thinking at all. Well, I want to be a virgin when I get... By the way, are you really a virgin if you've been giving a guy anal sex? Are you a virgin? I don't think so.
Well, it's not 100%.
Well, first of all, that implies that anal sex isn't sex. Is it sex?
I enjoy it.
Is it sex?
Well, in my point of view, it can be.
Now, is it?
No.
It's not. So, are you telling me gay men don't have sex?
Yes, they do.
Who do they have sex with?
Themselves.
What kind of sex do they have?
Anal.
So, why is it sex for a gay man but not for you?
Well, it is. It's just not...
Well, it's still sex. You're not a virgin.
Well, but I mean, I'm still, not 100%. And that's,
no, you're not a virgin, period.
Well, even if your hymen isn't...
In fact, if you've ever ridden a horse, your hymen may not even be intact for all you know. And then what? All these years you've wasted.
Aww.
Now, when you date guys, will they actually say to you, oh, no wonder you've only had 2 relationships. Do guys actually say to you, you know what, I respect you. I want to be with a woman whose hymen is intact. Do guys really say that?
No. I tell them up front that where I'm at and what I'm looking for.
That's why you've only had 2 relationships.
Well, I've, the serious relationships I have,
What kind of men date you?
Guys that
Prudes, Mormons, who?
No.
Who dates you? What 21st century man goes out with a 26-year-old virgin?
I don't know. How am I supposed to explain that?
I mean, are these like rabbinical students? Are they born-again Christians? Are they Mormons?
Diverse. It doesn't matter. I mean,
come on. You know what? I mean, come on. Are you telling me these guys have been sexually active with other women, but they love the fact that you're not?
To me, I think a guy should always have experience, no matter what.
You think a guy should always have experience?
Right.
Well, why does that benefit you in any way?
Because it's just a girl thing. A girl's not supposed to.
I mean, you're a Dino date waiting to happen.
Well, I don't know. I could say what I look like. I mean,
what? You know what? I don't care if you're a 10. It doesn't matter. If you don't put out, who cares?
I do put out, but 2 other ways.
No. Well, you know what though? I want it the way I want it, and it's like Burger King. I want to have it my way.
Exactly, and I tell that up front.
Just call me the Burger King.
You're right, Tom. I know. I disclose that up front.
Home of the Whopper, huh?
I say that up front and make sure that this is what the situation is. If you don't like it, then forget it.
And I bet a lot of guys tell you to forget it.
No.
Come on. No. You said you've only had 2 relationships.
I mean, one-on-one, monogamous, I should say.
Really? So you tell guys, I'm only giving you anal because I need to have my hymen intact.
Yeah.
How many guys are you talking about here?
4.
4 guys. Woo-hoo-hoo. So you're 26 and you've been with 4 guys and you've never had intercourse with any of them.
Right.
26, you've dated 4 guys. I see. Is this supposed to be like an incentive for them to marry you? Like, you're not getting sex unless I...
Well, I think about it in my head. I said, is it anyway, am I supposed to just forget about it and not be this good girl, bad girl type of a person and continue how I was brought up to be? Or do I just say, forget about it and just, like how you said, have fun? You
would still be a good person, dear.
I haven't been.
You think those of us who had sex before 26 are bad people?
No, but I've been always taught just to.
And why? By the way, you want all your men to have experience. Are they all bad people too?
No.
Why not?
Well, I'd prefer if they did.
You would prefer you prefer they all be bad people?
Not bad people.
Well, you said you're a good person for not having sex, meaning you'd be a bad person if you did.
No, I guess I don't know how I feel if I'm not, and then I'm with the person I'm supposed to be with for the rest of my life or whatnot.
Yeah, well, you know what, dear? Here you are hoping to get married. The statistics bear this out. It's not me saying this.
I know.
Once you pass 25, your odds of getting married start going down.
I know.
And so here you are now, 26 and not putting out. Are you getting the message, dear? We've rejected you as a gender. We are continuing to reject you until you put out.
Well, I don't know.
Every year you hold out, the odds of getting married get slimmer.
It's so difficult.
And slimmer. And slimmer. Until eventually you're going to be the cat lady, dear. You're going to be...
No.
Do you have any siblings?
No.
Oh, I thought you can't even be crazy old Aunt Jennifer coming over with the kitty cat.
No. Ew.
That's your future, dear.
No.
You're coming over there. There you are, the cat lady.
No.
You are good. You have any cats?
No.
Not yet.
Cats.
Well, don't worry. That maternal instinct will kick in, and you'll buy yourself a kitty cat or a poodle or something.
No, you know what another issue is? And I don't encounter men that are as horny as I am, and it's just been.
That's because they're all having sex. If you have sex often, you're not nearly as horny.
How is it not sex?
That's the purpose of having sex, so you stop being horny.
But how is it not having sex if anal and oral is...
Dear, without being graphic, and I'm not going to be graphic about this, anal sex doesn't give you an orgasm.
Well, manual stimulation...
That's not... Well, the point is, you don't need to have anal sex to... You know that...
Well, you can still reach orgasm.
Yeah, but that's not what gave you the orgasm. It's not your G spot. It's more like your A spot. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the same.
I don't know.
So, there you are, 26. You'll be 27.
And my ex-boyfriends, they call me back and say, Astrid, what's going on? And
yeah, they want to know if you're putting out yet.
Right.
Yeah. They want to know if you're actually going to give it up. That's the only reason they call.
I know.
All right, so, dear, how old will you have to get and be continuing to be single until you finally realize that your only hope of getting married is for a man to be able to test drive you?
I don't know. Maybe
unless you want to marry a rabbi or a priest.
No. It has to be someone that's...
Priests know all about anal sex.
No, that's as horny as I am, basically.
Dear, the only people who are as horny as you are people who are getting as little as you get.
Oh. All right, Tom. I'm going to go.
All right, Jennifer.
Everything you say is right, but I have to think about it.
I know. Well, you give that some thought. In fact, if you want, the first time you put out, we can put Dean on you, and you don't have to worry about getting attached to him, because believe me, after he has sex with you, you see what an a-hole he is, you won't want anything to do with him.
Okay.
Or he'll just take the anal if you want to give that up to him.
I don't mind a-holes.
You don't mind a-hole? Of course. You got a vagina. Of course you don't. So I'll put you on hold. I'll set that up, okay?
Okay.
All right, here. Take care of that, Snuggles. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. How much do you tell your mom? It's Kim on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Oh, we're taking a break. Sorry about that.
1-800-5800-TOM. The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. How much do you tell your mom, Nicole, on the Tom Leykis Show? Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
All right, Nicole.
I just wanted to tell you, I tell my mother pretty much everything. There's nothing that I wouldn't tell her. She lives out of state, but when we do talk, when we're together, there are things that she'd ask me, and if she actually came out and said, "Do you do this? Do you do that?" I would say yes or no if I don't.
Now, what kinds of things does she want to know?
Well, she's always been kind of young at heart, so she really would ask anything. It doesn't matter.
Really? But I'm curious about what kinds of things she asks you about. Because clearly there are things that you haven't told her because she hasn't asked. So there's a line she draws somewhere.
I don't know if she really draws a line anywhere or just hasn't gotten around to asking. Or I mean, it's not like we talk about sex every day. But she has asked if I give oral. She hasn't really asked if I or anything, but she has asked about oral, and I say yes. And I don't feel like I have to lie to her about anything.
Mm-hmm. And does she ask you details? Does she just go, "Oh, that's nice, dear"?
No, she doesn't ask details. She doesn't say, like, when was the last time you did that or anything like that. She just kind of, do you do it? Yeah, no. There are certain things I know that she has done.
Really?
Not necessarily that she's told me, but I've kind of found out through, I guess, my own experiences.
Wait a minute. What kind of things are we talking about here?
I know when I was growing up, she had this best girlfriend, and they were together all the time. And I know that she's been in a threesome with her girlfriend and her, at the time, boyfriend.
How did you find that out?
Well, like I said, just things growing up and putting two and two together. I would wake up in the morning and my mother would say, "Oh, you can't go in the bedroom because he's just waking up," which I assume now meant he didn't have any clothes on, and her girlfriend always slept over. They always slept in the same bed. My mother had a huge water bed. They all slept in the same bed all the time.
Wow. But she never admitted it to you?
No, she hasn't admitted it, but I haven't asked.
Well, why don't you ask her?
I don't know. It's never, like I said, it's never come up. But
well, it hasn't come up because you haven't brought it up.
Tom Leykis.
Tom Leykis?
Leykis.
Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Ed on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, Ed. I'm the father you never had.
Damn right.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Send us an email. Our email address is my name. It's tom@blowmeuptom.com. It's tom@blowmeuptom.com. Or call our comment line. The number, area code 310-842-9592. Again, that number is area code 310-842-9592.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. Post Office Box 4455, Hollywood, California, 90078. Email us. Your email address is my name. It's tom@blowmeuptom.com. tom@blowmeuptom.com. Or call our comment line. The number, area code 310-842-9592. From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show.